everybody. Welcome to RC Kidz Jr. We miss you guys so much, and we cannot wait until we are able to do Kids Church with you again in person. But for now, we're having a lot of fun doing Kids Church with you online. So we have learned a lot about Joshua and how he was strong and courageous. Oh, look at those muscles. Oh, yeah. Can I see your muscles? Oh, Colton, those are good muscles. Let me see them, Anderson. Wow. Jackson, how about you? Jackson, I think you've gotten taller. Have you gotten taller? You've gotten so grown up since last time I saw you. You guys are all getting so big. Well, after Joshua died, God helped the Israelites pick a new leader. And anytime they needed one, God would help them find a new leader. And they were called the judges. Can you say judge?
Judge.
They were the judges. And they weren't kings or queens because God was the king of Israel, but they were the judges, and they would help lead God's people. And the judge we're going to learn about today was named Deborah. Say Deborah. Deborah. Adelie, I can't hear you. Can you say Deborah? Oh, I heard you. I think I heard you. How about you? Can you say Deborah? Deborah. So Deborah was a strong, smart, brave woman of God. And she was also a prophetess, which meant God would talk to her and she would tell the people what God said. Now, at that time in Israel, the Israelites had stopped following God again, even after all of his miracles and everything he had done for them, and he had saved them and rescued them. Again, they stopped following his ways. Isn't that so sad? Again. And because they made that bad choice, some bad things started to happen in Israel. There was a king from a neighboring country who had 900 iron chariots. And he did a lot of mean things to them, and he was kind of like a big bad bully. He would come in and burn their crops and hurt their animals and ruin their towns. Not a nice guy. And do you know what iron is? Do you know what an iron chariot is? Do you know what iron is? Our spoons are made of metal. This is made of metal, and iron is a kind of metal. So if you find something metal in your house, it's kind of like that. His chariots were made of very hard. Here, can you pound on that? Is it hard or soft? Ooh, very hard. Can you find something metal in your house? It's very hard. That's what his chariots were made out of. So nobody could stand up to him. Wait a minute. Do you know what a chariot is? Do you know what a chariot is? No? A chariot is kind of like a wagon that a soldier rides in and a horse pulls it. Okay? So he had really hard, strong chariots for his soldiers to ride in, so nobody could stand up to them or fight them because they were too strong. So Deborah was the leader, and she was also the judge, which meant when people had an argument, they would come to her and she would decide who was right and who was wrong. Now, finally, after 20 years of this bad king being a bully to Israel, the Israelites cried out to God and said, God, please save us from this big bad bully king. And God told Deborah to tell Barak, the general of the army, that it was time to get the army together and he was going to help them win and help them conquer this bad king. And so Deborah went to Barak and she said, Barak, it's time. Get the army together and go fight that army and you are going to win because God is on your side. And Barak said, no, I will only go if you go with me because I'm scared. Scared of those big 900 metal chariots. Big hard chariots, right? And so Deborah said, okay, fine, I will go with you to the war, but because you didn't trust God to help you win, you are not going to be famous for winning this war. A woman is. So Deborah and Barak went with the army of Israel. Now, I need everybody to decide if you want to be in a chariot, a big chariot. Ours aren't really made of metal. We're just going to have to use our imagination. Or if you want to be an Israelite. Amelia is going to be an Israelite for me, right?
I'm going to be.
Now, if you are watching church in your car today, you can pretend that your car seat is a chariot. If you're home, you can get a cardboard box or a laundry hamper or something like that. All right? I'm going to get in my chariot here. I'm going to be a soldier. And Amelia is a Israelite. She's Deborah with the army. Now, I'm riding in my chariot. Are you riding in your chariot? You can bounce up and down in your car seat. Ride in your chariot. Okay, Israelites, if you are pretending to be an Israelite, say, rah, like that in your chariot. And even they have their big, strong chariot. Tip your chariot over. Well, don't tip your car seat over. But their chariots could not protect them from the God and the Israelites. And the big bad king jumped out of his chariot and he said, I'm going to lose this war. The Israelites are winning. And so he ran away from the battle as fast as he can. Run. And he's so tired. Make your tired face. He said, the Israelites, they're chasing me. I'm going to be in so much trouble for being such a big bad bully. And he saw a tent. Can you see a tent? And he saw a woman outside the tent working. And so he went up to the woman. Can he walk up to her? And he said, hey, you, Jael. Her name was Jael. Hide me in your tent so the Israelites can't find me. And she said, okay. And guess what? Jael was not afraid of that big bad bully king. Not like Barak was, huh? And she captured him and got rid of that big bad bully king. And God used Jael to end the war and to stop that big bad bully. Isn't that an amazing story? So just like Deborah said, Deborah, that big, strong, brave leader of Israel, just like she told Barak, Jael was famous for winning the war. So we are going to put Deborah in our Judges Hall of Fame here. She's going to be our first person in our Hall of Fame who God used in a mighty way to lead Israel and to rescue them. Deborah was used by God because she had faith and trust in God, right? She knew she'd be strong and courageous just like Joshua because she believed and trusted God's promises to her. And Jael trusted God's promises to her. So what I want you guys to learn as we learn about Judges is that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you are a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. God can use you. What matters is that you have faith and trust in God and you believe his promises. Okay? So I want to learn a new memory verse really quick with you. I have it right here for you. And we have some new motions and everything. I'm going to put it here so you can see it. Now, Amelia is not very good at repeating after me, so maybe she can say it with me, and you guys can repeat it after us. Ready? Can you stand up? Can they still see you if you stand up? Yeah. All right, ready? We're going to say, not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord Almighty. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord Almighty. Zechariah 4:6. That verse means that it doesn't matter how strong you are, it doesn't matter how big your army is or how strong your chariots are. What matters is that God's power is on your side. Can we say it one last time? Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord Almighty. Zechariah 4:6. We love you guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. Be strong and courageous. Bye-bye.